Creativity, creative power, and creative ability. Within the RYUC understanding and the RYUC and Beyond YouTube recordings, when talking about our creativity, reference is normally made to our creative power and our creative ability. The reason for this is that to create is to bring something into existence. It can be a copy of something that already exists or something completely original, never before seen. In either case, two things are needed to create something, whether it's an object or an experience. One is the energy, and the other is a conscious awareness of what to do or how to do it. Accessing our creative power and creative ability is about learning how to consciously work with the flow of our creative life energy that is animating our being. We learn how to control it by learning to align with the flow of this energy and change the flow in response to what we desire to create. Most often, creativity is viewed very shallow. Creativity is seen as using an aspect of our creative imagination to access some idea, maybe an original idea, and then producing some artistic work or finding a solution to a problem we face. But, as said, to create is to bring something into existence. That something could be an experience or an object. In any case, you need the energy to manifest it and enough awareness to know what to do and how to do it. Each of these two areas need to be addressed some way if one wants to create. Of course, we can do both naturally, for we are inherently creative. The goal here in the RYUC and Beyond recording is to bring the attention and awareness of the listener to assist them to access what they already possess for what they desire to create. Here in this recording, we take a quick look at creative power and creative ability. Creative power. Power, by definition, is energy per unit time. Energy is either stored by how the elements in the environment are arranged, or it is in motion, moving from one arrangement of elements to another. For example, the arrangement of the components of a battery store energy between the terminals of the battery. When the terminals are connected, the energy flows. How fast it flows determines how much power is available to cause something to happen or to be used to make something happen. Depending on how the elements storing the energy is arranged, the power generated can be available in a variety of ways. To name only a few, the energy release can range in a spectrum of intense, strongly instantaneous bursts of energy to a low, continuous, sustained level, or it may be intermittent or oscillating like a wave. When it comes to creating, we're talking about tapping into our creative life energy, our heartfelt passion to create. It is our life energy that gives us the energy to manifest what we desire. When we talk about our life energy, we usually talk about passion, the passion to do or to act. Most often, this creative life energy is seen and experienced as a passion of some type. However, since it exists at the essence of our being and gives rise to our life, it is only natural to see this energy and passion arise from within our heart, for our heart is what pumps the life-giving blood within our being. Relative to our creativity, the question is how much passion can we access to create what we desire, and more importantly, can we access sufficient passion for as long as necessary? If what we desire to create is in alignment with the reason why our creative spirit incarnated and is in alignment with our life path, we can access sufficient energy for as long as it takes. If, however, we are acting solely from the mind, we should not be surprised that we have difficulty sustaining the energy necessary to create. What does need to be noted here is mind can mask the passion of the heart. What this means is there is something very inviting to the mind that mind wants that is more inviting than what the heart seems to want. Mind can then use its ability to create discipline and discipline itself to do whatever is necessary to get what it desires, often at whatever cost it takes. However, what normally happens if mind has masked the heart is that whenever that end point is achieved, the feeling of victory, satisfaction and the like is very fleeting. It does not last. In fact, sometimes there is a hollowness in what is achieved. However, when what is created is in alignment with one's life path and or their life purpose, there will be an inner satisfaction that lasts and will always provide some level of inspiration when remembered. Before moving on to the creative ability, it does need to be noted the human being can access energy physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This also means there is an arrangement of elements analogous to the battery within us that can affect, store, or allow energy to be made available physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Understanding what elements are influencing our creative life energy is part of the whole exploration of our creativity, creative ability. Creative ability has two parts. One part is about our mindset and the particular perspective we have about ourselves and how we see the way the world works. The second aspect of creative ability is, do we know what we need to do and how to go about doing it for a particular creation? Our mindset and perspective is what really controls our creative ability, for it ultimately is about our awareness. That is, are we aware of how we think and believe and how we perceive the world and the perspective we have? We also need to become aware of how we think and believe, and our perspective does or does not allow our creative life energy to freely flow. The most important thing we can do is to look to see if we have the awareness of where our creativity is or is not being held sacred. Holding our creativity sacred is about having the flexibility and freedom to explore options. If we do not have the freedom to explore options, we will be unable to find the creative solutions we seek. But it is also about having the awareness such that if we are unable to explore any particular option, are we aware enough to understand why, and is there a need to do something about it? The question to be addressed here is, do we hold our creativity sacred, and are we willing to face the reasons and obstacles that keep our freedom to explore bound? We need to understand the human experience is about placing our creativity into a cage of our own making. There are two levels to this cage. At one level, it is more of a box than a cage. Whether you wish to believe it or not, we are infinitely creative beings. We have intentionally limited our creative power and creative ability in order to have a particular human experience at this time and place. We each have different reasons for being here, and this box never needs to be explored if we align with our creative spirit and the life path we created for this life. However, if we desire to explore the depth and breadth of our creativity, the aspects of this box may need to be explored. The second level to this cage is the one we create in our experiences as a human being. Rarely does one go through life without our creativity being thwarted in some way, such that we experience pain. It may be as simple as falling down and hurting ourselves in playing with another as a child, or an early caregiver reprimanding our freedom of expression in some way. To protect ourselves, we create a wall so as to not go in that direction again. But in doing so, to protect ourselves, we create a cage that contains our freedom of expression that we ourselves have constructed. Often these barriers are revealed when we choose to hold our creativity and the freedom of expression sacred. Also, there is the programming we gain in life as to what we can and cannot do that we may find we need to address. The second aspect of our creative ability is, do we know what we need to do and how to go about doing it? If we are to create something that has already been experienced by somebody or another variation of such an experience, our mind will only need to study and learn how to do it. If, however, we are seeking to create something original, not seen or previously experienced, mind will be of little use. Mind only knows the past. Here we need to learn to use our intuition. Effectively knowing how to use our intuition is part of our creative ability, for it allows us to explore the unknown. Here, mind needs to learn how to follow the flow of energy for the desired creation. It's about learning to navigate from the heart. To navigate from the heart is to allow our ability to feel and sense the energy to determine the direction for our life, and mind to attend to the details as to how to make it happen.